Hi Yogi, welcome to this class. Today's class is inspired around the element water. So we'll be moving with fluidity, paying particular attention and focus to the movements and the transitions that come in between the poses. You'll need 2 blocks today. If you've not got a block, then grab a hold of a hardback book or anything to give you a bit of elevation and height in the pose. And I'll meet you on the mat today in seated pose. Beginning in seated pose, option to sit on a block. We'll place our hands on our knees and just sit up nice and tall as you take your first breath in. And as you exhale, close down your eyes. Beginning to find the breath that suits you. And just like water, try and make it fluid. And water is the protector of the body, providing our bodies with the most basic nourishment, protecting against the roughness and motion of the air elements, the dissolution of the ether elements, and the fire and the heat of the fire elements. And we can find similarities in the idea of the movement of water and of Vinyasa flow. Finding fluidity in both, it's that fluid movement with the breath, slowly linking one pose to the next. So we will pay particular attention in this class towards that space in between the poses, the transitions. As from here, blink the eyes open, go ahead and reach your arms up. Palms will touch over the top of the head. And as you exhale, come all the way forwards. Okay, and drag the hands back along the mat towards the shins. Peel your fingers up nice and high, full breath in. And again, exhale, we flow down. Inhale, gather up, lift through fingertips, and exhale. And from here, we're just going to find a fold. So whether the hands can come onto blocks or straight down onto mat, you might even be able to put a little bend in your elbows so that you can creep just that touch closer to the mat. And just keep the neck nice and soft and long. And then root down through the base of your bum. So you almost want to tilt your tail down the way. And you'll feel that nice gentle release on the hips. Okay, inhale, press into the hands, reach the arms up high to the sky again. And as you exhale, flow towards the right. Allow the right fingers to settle, left arm to reach up and over. Inhale brings you back. And exhale waves you to the left. Big breath in. Exhale. Inhale over to the left. Exhale. And the next breath in, as the right hand grounds, we'll just find a bit of stillness. So really reach left fingers up and over your ear. And again, just like we did in the forward fold, right elbow can perhaps bend. Maybe you can drop the forearm onto the mat or onto a block. And then actively roll your chest. Open the gaze to the one side of the left armpit. And as you inhale, come all the way up and over. We'll just shift that to the other side. So left hand roots, maybe that little bend. Big stretch to find that lateral side body stretch, your right side body. Peel the gaze. Listen to the breath. And inhale, come on back. Palms touch. Exhale, root your hands towards your heart. Arriving in a tabletop position. So we'll pop straight onto our hands and knees. And let's find a few rounds of cat-cow. So on the next breath in, arch your chest. Lift your gaze. Lifting your sits bones high. And as you exhale, pressing the ground away. Find the round. Inhale to look up, open up the chest. And exhale, find your round. One more to lift the gaze high. Take a full breath in. And exhale, find the round. Grounding down through the hands, just sink your bum back towards your heels and come and take a seat in child's. And as you inhale, just come to round all the way forwards. As you exhale, arch through the spine, lift the sit bones, sink the weight back. Inhale like a wave, tuck the chin, spread. And exhale, slither back, bum back, gaze high. And one more brings you forwards as you inhale. And now just curl your toes, hover your knees, and exhale, bring it all the way back, down, facing dog. Knees can be softly bent, and then we can pedal it out. So just continuing with that idea of fluidity, and then bringing that now into the down dog. So maybe you want to find that sway with the hips, perhaps a little pulse of the chest, maybe even a little wave back and forth. Lovely. And then from here, lift up super high on the tips of your toes and silently try and step your feet to creep so no one can hear you towards your hands. Bend your knees and just fold down from it. Coming into our Uttanasana, so our fold. And once you arrive here, interlace your fingers and then just place the hands behind the back of the head. Just make sure you're not pulling on the neck. And then sway from side to side. Maybe giving your head a little up and down rock. Okay, bend the knees, find stillness. As you inhale, I want you to round and just roll the body all the way up towards standing posture. Toes and kneecaps point forward. Heart pulls through as the head pulls back. Open the elbows. And as you exhale, hinge from the hips, bend the knees, and then find a round. Come all the way back down to Uttanasana, soft bend. Inhale, round through the spine, roll up the length. Open up, elbows wide, gaze up, chest pulls through, and again, exhale, come all the way back down. As you inhale, rolling up through the spine. Release the hands from the back of the head, fingers stretch high to the sky, maybe a little touch of the palms and a hinge forwards with the hips to find super soft back bend. Bring the hands close to the heart space, and as you exhale, allow your fingers to rest by the sides of your body. So toes and kneecaps point forward still. Feet to hip distance. Take a full breath in to go ahead and stretch and reach arms up high. And as you exhale, bend the knees, hinge from the hips, come down to the mat. Come up to find your halfway lift, hands press against the shins, fly your sit bones, lengthen the crown. And then exhale, bend the knees so that you can fold. Inhale here, right foot roots, and then take a big step back with the left toes. Just drop the left knee as you exhale. As you untuck the back toes, sweep your fingers up and overhead, hinge the hips forwards, gaze high. And then exhale, come to pull your hips back. So maybe stretching through the right leg as you ground through right heel. Bring your fingers behind you like wings. Okay, arms like wings, maybe using blocks if needed. Lunge back into the right knee, slowly does it, inhale, fluid movements. And then exhale, left hand drops inside of the right foot. As you take a breath in, see if you can stretch your right arm even higher. Keeping right knee in line with hip. And then just take a breath out here, gaze is still high. Slowly on the inhale, bring your right arm forwards and then all the way down so both hands frame inside of the right foot. Killing the back toes, lifting the back knee, go ahead and pigeon toe your toes to point in. Hands come onto the shins, just find the length as you take a breath in. And then exhale, find a fold. You can have the knees softly bent if needed. Interlace your fingers behind your back. And if this feels good, I want you to start to drive the knuckles forward. If this is too much in the shoulders, grabbing a hold of opposite elbow with opposite hands. So inhale here, and then as you exhale, start to hinge forwards from the hips. And just see if you can spread your sit bones, finding even more of a stretch for your hamstrings. And if your head is quite close to the mat, I want you to wiggle your feet in a touch. Taking one more breath in here. As you exhale, softly release, fingers down, either to the shins or to the mat if you can reach, and then come up halfway as you take a breath in. As you exhale, walk everything to the back, okay? So moving to the back, lunge into the left knee and drop the right knee. Coming to find an open twist again at the back, so inhale here, look up to your left fingertips. And as you exhale, go ahead and reach your left arm back behind you. If you like, you can heel to your left foot a little wider, and then start to really lunge into the left knee to open into the chest, open into the hip. Left arm reaches forwards and all the way down. And just like we did at the front, press into the hands, press into the front foot, lift the back knee, and then walk everything so that hands are now inside of right foot. So we can use a block here if needed, if we feel like we want a bit more height. Starting to bend into the right knee and straighten through the left leg. Coming into Skandasana, it's your choice how close you are to the mat. Take a full breath in here and a full breath out. Inhale, push the hips, walk the block to the top of the mat, and then come to face your toes forwards. Making our way into Warrior 3. So maybe using the block again just in front of right foot. As you lunge into the right knee, slowly lift your left leg off the mat, finding your balance for a moment. Right knee can be bent, this can help stabilize the body. Full breath out. And take another inhale. As you start to point your left toes, just let go of your block, and as you exhale, allow your left toes to find the mat. Inhale, come to peel your fingers up high towards the sky, crescent pose. Exhale, lunge into the front right knee. As you inhale, pull all of the energy back, and then exhale, scoops you forwards, arms touch. Inhale to drag back, open the chest, and again, exhale, bring that forwards. One more to inhale. Okay, as we exhale, come to straighten through the right leg. If you need to step your left foot in, go for that. Peel the fingers behind you like wings, and then come to hinge forwards to the ground. Into pyramid pose. And taking a full breath in here, and a full breath out. Actively pulling right hip back. Lunge back into the right knee, ground back into the hands, and we'll just come up high on the left toes, back into Warrior 3. And if you fancy to come a little higher into standing split, see if you can lift the left leg a little higher. Maybe the hands can drop towards the mat now as you bow the chest and the torso a little closer to the mat. Not to worry about how high our left leg is. Focus on the breath. As you bend the right knee, take an inhale to start to draw left knee in towards the chest. And as you take a seat, exhale, left foot down by the right. As you inhale, fingers sweep behind you, and then peel yourself up. So you want to create a round to peel the fingers high to the sky. As you exhale, hinge the hips back, float the fingers back. Inhale, come all the way back up, create a round through the spine, little back bend at the top. Exhale, hinge hips back, float fingers down. One more round you up, feel it into each vertebrae, arms reach. And as you exhale, come to swan dive, arms wide, hands to the shins, pressing up the way to find the length. Inhale, bend the knees as you exhale. Hands root down towards the mat. We'll keep the right foot rooted, step the left toes and drop the left knee. Bringing both knees to touch, or separate just hips distance but in the same line. Scoot your knees back an inch or two, untuck the toes, and as you look forward, shift forwards, bend the elbows, come all the way down onto your belly, finding your way into Cobra Pose. Big breath in, elevate the heart, look up high, and exhale, come all the way down towards the earth. As you press into the hands, just push back into downward facing dog, take a breath out. On the next breath in, imagine you're like a wave, so lift up through tippy toes, lift from lower back, middle, upper, all the way forwards until you come into plank, then softly ground the knees, shift forwards a little so that your chin and your chest can drop. Untuck the toes and come back into Cobra Pose, big breath in. As you exhale, press into your hands, sink your hips back into Child's Pose. On the next breath in, drag the hands along the mat, come super high up on the shins, reach the fingers up high, little back bend at the top, keep the thighs and the glutes active. Exhale, wave that towards the mat, Child's Pose. Inhale, drag the hands, fingers along the mat. Peel the fingers up high. Lead with the heart. Open up. Exhale, come down. And we'll take just one more like that. So big breath in, reach up. And exhale, come back down. Staying active in the child's pose. Lift the gaze forward. Grip the ground with the fingertips. Scoop the crown. Inhale to find your arch. Curl your toes, hover your kneecaps, lead with the hips. Downward dog. Take a full breath in. And an exhale. Lifting up high through the tips of the toes, just softly tiptoe your way forwards. Coming back into our Uttanasana, so back into the fold. Lift up halfway, take your breath in. And exhale, find the fold. Coming to interlace the fingers behind the back of the head. Allow the head to just drop down. Elbows can drop also. Keeping the knees bent and the feet rooted. Inhale to round you up, going straight towards the open chest. Lead with the heart. And exhale, hinge from the hips, round to come all the way back down to the earth. Inhale, round you up, open wide. And exhale, melt. On the next breath in, come all the way back up towards standing. You can release the hands from the head. Reach your fingers high, maybe a little back bend at the top. Exhale, come down to your forward fold, Uttanasana. Halfway breath in, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Hands root towards the mat, ground down through the left foot, take a breath in. And as we exhale, super big step back with the right toes and drop the right knee. Left heel under left knee. Inhale, release the fingers, sweep them up, hinging the hips forward and through, chest lifts, inner thighs hug. And as you exhale, come to pull your hips back and straighten through the left leg. So your fingers can float behind us, or maybe using blocks if you want a bit more stability. Lunge back into the left knee as you take an inhale, arms reach up again. Right hand roots and left arm lifts. Exhale. See if you can lift your chest and expand through your heart. Inhale, look to the left thumb. And as you exhale, both hands root down inside of the left foot. Curl through the back right toes, lift through the back right knee as you inhale. And we're going to walk everything into the center as we exhale. So that little pigeon toe as the toes turn in and the heels draw out. Just bring your hands to your shins to find the length on the first breath. And as you exhale, see if you can fold. We're coming into Prasarita Padottanasana C, so wide leg forward fold, yogi's choice where the hands go, whether it's an interlace of the fingers or a grip of the elbows, entirely up to you, and then start to drive the knuckles. Take a full breath in as you really magnetize and draw your back body towards the midline. And then exhale, see if you can fold a little deeper. Remember that action of actively spreading and lifting our sits bones to stretch out our hamstrings. Take one more breath in here. And as you exhale, silently drop your fingers to your mat. Inhale, come up halfway. And walk everything towards the back as you exhale. Lunge into the right knee as you inhale. Drop the back knee as you exhale. Left hand roots and right arm lifts. Take a full breath in here. And as you exhale, lunge into your right knee. Take your right arm back behind you. Options to heel to right foot a little wider if you want a bit more space in the hips. Gaze and beyond the thumb, open the chest. Inhale, right hand moves all the way forwards and then down towards the mat as we exhale. Press down into the hands, lift the back kneecap, inhale. Walk everything to a Skandasana at the front. And remember, you can use your block to assist inside the foot. It's really up to you how low down you want to go. I like to kind of guide my way there, not just drop on into it. So take your time to ease into the posture. Welcoming it into your body. Make sure left knee is in the same direction as left big toe. Maybe a little flex of the right toes. Take one more breath in here and one more breath out. As you inhale, lift through your hips, and walk everything towards the front. Okay, so now our hands are framing our left foot, so we can either keep the hands on the mat or bring them to a block, or come straight into warrior three. So lighter and lighter on the right toes until eventually perhaps you can find your balance and lift your right leg. Centered with the core. Take one more inhale. And as you exhale, bend your left knee, drop your right toes. You can just release the block. Inhale, reach the arms up. High lunge, coming into Vinyasa. As you exhale, hinge down through the left knee. Inhale to bring your energy back. And exhale to peel it to the front. Inhale, pulls you back. Open wide, exhale, bring it round. One more, so inhale. And exhale. On the next breath in, reach the arms back, straighten through the left leg, step the right heel down and in, and then fold. So fingers float behind you, slowly come down. You can use hands on block or to the hips. Take a full breath in. And soft exhale. Lunge back into the left knee, come up back onto the right toes, hands come towards the block. And as you shift the weight forwards, right foot lifts, right toes point, maybe coming down all the way towards the mat. We're coming into standing splits, trying to drive our right leg as high as we can. Open the hamstring. And the next breath in, drive right knee towards the nose. And as you exhale, hinge, stick your hips back, drop your big toes together. Sweep the fingers back. And as you inhale, round and wave the body up. Fingers reach high. Exhale, melt you back, fingers sweep to the back. Round as you inhale, gather it all up. Up to the sky, exhale, melt you back down. As you inhale, come all the way back up. And then exhale, lead with the heart, swan dive. Come into forward fold, halfway, take your breath in. And as you exhale, bend your knees, hands root, left foot to the mat, right toes, right knee come down. And then we'll bring a knee to a knee. As you look forwards, take the knees back. Exhale, shift forwards and down like a chaturanga. Separate your feet, ground down through your hands. Breath in, lift your heart, cobra pose. Exhale to release. Press down into the hands, push back through the hips. Curl the toes to downward dog. On the next breath in, ripple through the spine, come all the way forwards like a wave, high plank. Lower down knees. As you look forward, shift forwards, chin and chest will drop. Untuck the toes, slither back into cobra pose. Breathe in. And then exhale, push back, child's pose. Gather all that energy up on the next breath in towards the knees. Reach the fingers high, wave yourself up. And then exhale, come back down to Balasana. Inhale, reach the fingers high. Open the heart. Exhale, melt down. And one more. Inhale, big wave. Exhale, take a seat. As you send your gaze towards the tips of the fingers, scoop the crown, lift the tail, press the ground away. Inhale, cow-like tilt. Curl the toes, hobble your kneecaps, and then slither yourself back. Downward dog. Take a full breath in, and the cleansing breath just to release all of that goodness. Beautiful. Softly drop down onto the knees. Untuck your toes and sit back towards your heels. We'll just gather our hands towards the tops of our thighs and just reflecting on how we feel both physically, emotionally at this moment in time. And we're always just looking to observe and never to judge. Take a full breath in and a full breath out. As you blink the eyes open, drop onto the right hip and then just swing the legs out in front of us. So heels down, toes up. We'll just shuffle forwards. Tips of the toes to the top of the mat, arms spread out in front of us, so full breath in. And as you exhale, just come to melt your back all the way down towards the earth. So we're going to flow through a little small sequence before we start to cool down. On the next breath in, I'd like you to tuck your knees in towards your chest and just lift your bum up off the mat. Hands support the lower back. Exhale, lower the bum down, straighten the legs. Reach the fingers up and fold. Okay, we're going to come from seated now, so arms lift. Inhale. As you exhale, come all the way down to the back. Ground down through the hands, little lift of the bum. Hands can support the bum. Exhale, drop the feet down. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, fold. One more lifts you up, breath in. Exhale, come down. Knees to the chest, inhale. And exhale, lower the legs. Big breath, stretch the fingers. And exhale to fold. Just coming into a full seated forward fold. It's okay if you came off the mat like me, just wiggle yourself back. Hands can support, grabbing a hold of the shins to draw the heart forwards, or maybe gripping the feet if you can get them. And just breathe. Just start to observe, find that stillness in the mind. And just like water, when it's in its truest form. Water is one of those amazing things that can move from a solid, a liquid to a gas, but it always returns back to its original form. And when it's purest, when it's most at peace, is when it's stillest, without a ripple, without a distraction, and where it's most reflective. Feeling that sensation along the backs of the legs. And we'll just take one more breath in and exhale. On the next breath in, lengthen up the way, and then exhale just to roll down the way. Arms can just relax by the side of the body, head towards the mat. Bringing the feet in the way, so a little gap between heels and bum cheeks. Cactus your arms, take a breath in here. As you exhale, drop both knees towards the right and then gently tilt the gaze towards the left. Just finding a soft supine twist. Feeling that sensation across your chest, your hips, your front, your back, and your sides of your body. And then inhale, draw the knees back. Exhale, take the knees in the other direction, gaze towards the right. Breathe in space into the body. And just reflecting on that beautiful journey that you've just put your body through. Inhale, knees draw back. Bring the knees to the chest one last time. And as you exhale, let go of your shins. Take your arms and your legs wide. I invite you to stay as long as you need in Shavasana, just allowing your body's intelligence to digest all of that information. Thank you so much for joining me today. Namaste.